After the Super Bowl, NBC aired the new episode of The Blacklist, returning to Season 2. The episode guest starred Ron Perlman as the episode's antagonist, and he was awesome. This was overall a pretty decent episode, a pretty good way to return to the show after the break. I am a fan of The Blacklist. I really liked Season 1. There were some episodes I didn't like, and there were some issues I had, which I'm going to get into in a second. But a lot of those issues I didn't mind so much, but now with Season 2, some of these issues are taking a turn for the worse, and they are starting to become a problem. And for me, the biggest problem is the lead protagonist, Elizabeth Keen. I'm sorry, but this protagonist sucks. I don't care how much they advertise James Spader as the lead. He's, the poster boy of the show. His face is everywhere on the posters and on the advertisements. And it makes sense because James Spader is the draw. He is what makes The Blacklist. James Spader is the highlight of The Blacklist. And he's awesome. And his character, Reddington, is awesome. And they let him do all sorts of cool things. He's a great action hero. He's very convincing. He's tough. He's funny. He's unpredictable. He's smart. And James Spader, being such a cool actor, he sells it perfectly. He really does. Reddington is just an awesome character. But frankly, he is not the main character. Elizabeth Keen is the main character. And that's okay. Because when you have a character like Reddington who really doesn't develop much, it's more like he has developed just about as much as he can already, and it's more about him being this mysterious mentor who's guiding our main character, that's okay. The problem is that the person that he is guiding is obnoxious. Elizabeth Keen, as an action hero, is useless. She does nothing right. She is constantly getting caught by villains. She is constantly screwing up. She is clumsy. She is incompetent. And all of that was okay in Season 1. And that's what I was saying earlier. Season 1, it was a little annoying at times, but it was okay because her character, she's new, she's a rookie in the FBI, and it's because of Reddington that she is learning and getting better. And that was okay because it was Season 1. We are now into Season 2. Elizabeth Keen's character has gone through some pretty dark stuff. People have died. There's this whole story about her and her husband, which I actually thought was really well done. And how has it paid off? Really, though, how's it paid off for Elizabeth Keen's character? She is darker to some extent, but as an action hero and as an FBI agent, she's not any better. She really isn't. She thinks she is. And that's the thing that's so annoying about it, is that Elizabeth Keen in every episode acts like she's tough, and she'll always try to talk tough and be tough, but you never buy it because time and time again, she gets captured, she gets clumsy, she has a bad guy in her grasp, and she does something stupid and loses the bad guy, and every time it is Reddington who saves her, and not just her, but the other members of the FBI. Harold Cooper, who is the director of the FBI counterterrorism division in this show, he's constantly getting crapped on by his superiors in this series because, well, they're constantly screwing up. It's like when you look at how much Reddington saves the FBI's butt from getting ostracized by the government, it's like, yeah, you know what? This guy's terrible at leading the FBI, and these agents suck. Not just Elizabeth Keen. It's like without Reddington, they couldn't do anything right. And I get it, because Reddington, again, is supposed to be the mentor figure. But there's doing that a right way, and there's doing that a wrong way. And this show, it's become so hit and miss. Not every episode is a bust by any means. I overall still like the show. But the fact that, every main character except Reddington is so clumsy and so useless, it's just, it doesn't work after a while. After a while, it just becomes annoying. It's like, why should I root for these characters? I'm just rooting for Reddington. Not to mention, he's the only one that they let do anything cool with. A lot of people online have been bashing Megan's performance as Elizabeth Keen. I'm not going to do that. I really don't think it's her fault. I'll admit there are some moments where she reads a line that I kind of think, that could have been a little better. And when she's trying to talk tough, again, I don't buy it very well. But a lot of the problems that I at least have is just how her character is written out. It's not so much Megan's performance as her. And plus, there are moments where I think Megan does a really good job when she is being just dramatic. When she is dramatic, and when she and Reddington are in a very deep, specifically Megan and James Spader, when their characters are kind of in a deep discussion, a lot of times it's really well done. I think the two actors there, I think they have good chemistry. Now, this episode, this episode that I just watched, we're now in the second half of season 2. Pretty good episode. There were some really cool moments with Reddington, of course. Ron Perlman was pretty cool as the villain as well. But should be noticed that from about the midway point of the episode, it's pretty much down to Elizabeth Keene and Reddington together stopping Ron Perlman. And of course, towards the end, Elizabeth Keene gets captured and Reddington has to save her. Now, this is a two-parter. The second part is airing this Thursday. Maybe I'll do a review of it as well. But based on the previews for the part 2, it looks like what ends up happening is Ron Perlman gets away and kidnaps Elizabeth Keene yet again. And once again, Reddington has to save her. That is 2 times in a row. I don't think I could do it, but if I were to just look over every episode from season 1 up until now, and if you were to look over how many times she gets captured, how many times she does something clumsy and stupid, it's like they gotta do a better job writing this character. It is hurting the show so much. I'm still watching the show. It hasn't lost me because ultimately just because James Spader is so awesome in it and his character is awesome and they let him do a lot of cool things. And there are some other things about the show I like as well. But man, they got to work on this main character better. I'm not saying she has to be Jack Bauer. I'm not saying she has to be an unstoppable killing machine. But they have to do a better job making her this character who's constantly learning and constantly being guided by Reddington. I don't feel like they're doing it the right way. A lot of the times, she doesn't do much to save the day. It's one of those things where when Reddington is in trouble, she occasionally will help out, but a lot of times either someone else helps him out or he just gets out of it himself. And it's like, I don't know. Well, we'll see how this show continues to go on. If by the end of this season, if they really don't start shaping Elizabeth's character into a more engaging character that we can get behind, I'm probably not going to stick around for season 3.